Okay. So hello everybody. It is Beret'i Gurkan. I'm together with our accounting partner Lubija. We are in Serbia now, and we are gonna talk about the company taxation today. Technically, why the Serbia is good when you start the company, which kind of taxes you would expect in Serbia. As you know, the Serbia is one of two very attractive countries, and we will say heard of the Balkan countries. If you want to enter in the Balkan market, then Serbia is the place. So, Lubija, first, how are you? Is everything fine for you?
So, hello, Bedretin. Have a nice time in Serbia. Everything is great. We are doing fine, and we are hoping to continue great.
Yeah, yeah, it's another thing, sustainability, right, in the business. So, Lubija, today actually we would like to give some detail about the taxation. But first, maybe could you summarize that? Why the Serbia they should choose? I mean, Serbia is good for the tax. Is it low tax or what?
So, in regarding to tax, Serbia for sure is beneficial, as for example, our tax system is quite good, and we have, let's say, moderate tax rates for most of taxes. Not for all, unfortunately. For example, VAT is here 20%, which is not so small. But mostly taxes are really nice here. Also, if you want to invest in Serbia, please be aware that this is a country which can do business with both West but also with the East, with a number of countries, which can be beneficial. And also being in the middle of Balkan region and let's say being the center of former Yugoslavia, we are on a good spot to start your Southeastern Europe investment. Now, in terms of taxation, for example, corporate income tax in Serbia is 15%, which 15. Is 15, which is I believe
quite low.
Yeah, quite low.
If you compare with Germany,
yeah, sure, or with Sweden.
Yeah, sure.
So, but also when you want to pay a dividend, it is also moderate 15%, which is also quite okay. And
so probably I will ask you this in the following of the video about the dividends, how they can take out the money from the company. But as you say that technically taxes fit like a corporate tax, technically calculated from the not from the income, from the profit, right? And then for this expenses thing in Serbia, it is quite strict because in many countries the showing the expenses are quite strict. And technically for this video, we would like to actually give them like a kind of summary of how the taxation system is good or hard for the foreign-owned companies. I guess the most popular company type is DOO, which is LLC, right?
Yes, LLC, of course. I mean, if you want to incorporate a company here, you will probably go with LLC.
So technically we will talk about the LLC taxation today.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. So yes, for the LLC goes are basically those percentages that we already said. But in regards to costs, if the cost is your question, average salary in Serbia is something like 800 euro. Average net salary. Yes, average net salary is something like 800 euro, and to calculate total contributions and taxes that you're going to pay, you just have to use 62%. So on top of net salary, you are supposed to calculate 62% up until some levels. You know, there are some differences, and there are some other things which with which Serbia basically can save some money to investors. So for newly inhabited persons with some high-end salaries, or if you're, let's say, a research and development company, there is a number of incentives.
Like IT companies as well, right?
Not exactly, but just research and development companies. So if they are R&D companies, they can acquire lots of tax incentives. Yes, exactly. But let's say that for average company which doesn't have any incentive, it's like 62%. Yes, 62%.
For example, if let's say that there's an employee who gets the 1,000 euro netto salary, so it costs to the company in total like a 1,600 euro or like that, right? Exactly. Of course, I guess if the salary get increased, then the cost getting lower or higher, because in many Western country, if you get more salary, the cost is getting higher, but in here it is opposite, or?
Yes, unfortunately or fortunately, Serbia doesn't have progressive tax policy, and we have a flat tax. Even more if certain let's say gross salary is going to be more than 4,000 euros, then more than 4,000 euros we don't calculate and we don't pay contributions, we pay tax only.
Okay. Then if the salary increase, you pay less tax.
If salary increase, you pay less tax, which is quite opposite.
Welcome to Balkans.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
Sounds good. So technically, the first benefit is the 15% if you compare with the Western Europe, which is pretty well. Okay, the company we show the expenses, they pay 15%. They pay every year, right? Which period they have to pay this tax?
So the business the fiscal year in Serbia is a calendar year. So by the end of March we are supposed to declare our final statement. By the end of June we are supposed to declare tax report. So latest by the end of June of this year we are supposed to declare our income from the previous year.
Technically before the summer they need to pay the taxes.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
In this case, for example, in the first year, if they don't make any money, do they need to pay at least profit? Do they need to pay 15% or not?
Yes. So basically, when company is incorporated, accountancy is supposed to declare initial tax report. So like opening tax report, and with this tax report we declare how much are we planning to earn and how much are we planning to spend. So most often we say that our result is going to be zero because we don't know at the moment. And our goal is not to pay in advance for something that we are not aware that will happen. And this is why we say that we are going to profit zero, which means that advance payments for corporate income tax will be zero up until some time when we declare our real tax report for example, for calendar year or fiscal year, and we have some profit. Of course, then we will pay profit for this year, and we will continue to pay advance payments of corporate income tax in following year.
Okay. In the first year, if there is no income, technically we don't pay anything. About the second year, it depends based on the first year results.
Of course, if you had, for example, 1 million euro or dinars or whatever of your income, you're supposed to pay 15%.
I prefer euro,
yeah. You're supposed to pay 15% in coffers of Republic of Serbia, but then this 1 million is your census for next year. Up until next fiscal year is commenced, we submit tax report, and then we see where do we stand.
Okay.
There is also one possibility which is quite good. For example, if we had a big income in last year and we are aware that it will not happen this year, we are in position to declare corporate income tax for maybe 2 months or 3 months of this year, and if it is much lower than last year, we can send this tax report and lower our advance payments of corporate income tax.
Okay.
Which is also very good to know.
Yes. So technically, as you can see, that it is very important to have the very experienced tax advisor in Serbia, because Serbian taxation system, what I see, that is much different than the German one. So the first question of mine, that let's say that there's a foreign-owned company started here, DOO, they can start the company with remotely, right? And is it obligatory to have an accountant for every DOO?
So every company or any form of company, but also LLC, every company must have an accountancy contract signed with the authorized accountant, and yes, basically it is obligatory. So apart from apart from final statement that will be sent by the end of year, there is a number of things, especially for newly opened companies, that must be sent. So not only UBOs, so ultimate beneficiary owners, but also we must send, let's say, we must report of the address to tax authorities, and then we must send so-called eco-tax to local municipal authorities, and then we must submit initial tax balance. So there is a number of things that needs to be done when opening company in, let's say, 15 days or 30 days. There are different deadlines, but one must do this. So this is not possible to be done without accountancy.
Technically, when this company has been registered within 15 days, we should technically come to you, and then they will come to us, and then to complete this report obligation to avoiding any fine.
Exactly.
Right.
And then even if you are doing nothing, there are other things, especially for foreign-owned companies, that needs to be done. So, for example, you can establish your company in, let's say, 25th of June. But there is a 10th of July deadline to submit a report to National Bank of Serbia, a so-called report on foreign-owned companies, where we have to declare total costs, total incomes, and changes on capital, because capital is what we are reporting to National Bank of Serbia. So even if you have established company at the end of June, there is a 10th of July deadline that you must meet. And yes. So this is, for example, report on capital.
So two other important points actually I would like to take attention. I guess the clients may ask. The first one is that let's say that we made €100,000 profit. End of the end of June to July, we pay €15,000 as a 15% corporate tax. Okay, there's a €85,000 in our bank account. So I'm living in the US, I'm living in the Turkey, I'm living in the Russia, or I'm living in the Hungary. It depends in the where I am the tax base, I know, but how the dividend works and how the clients like a check, or how they should ask our help regarding to taking the dividend. Because if they're not living here, they cannot be registered as an employee, and they cannot get salary, right? Or
of course. So as for dividend, we have, let's say, a flat rate of 15% on dividend tax. But if you are from, for example, from Turkey, or if you are from Germany, or if you are from former Yugoslavian countries, then we have bilateral agreements on avoiding of double taxation. And then you pay here in Serbia some rate, for example, with former Yugoslavia it's 5%, and you pay some other percentage in your domicile countries, where you're a tax resident. So basically, this is the way dividend goes. And as for
salary side,
so you don't have to be in Serbia in order to receive this dividend. It can be paid to your account. It is irrelevant if you're here or not. And as for salary side, so if you're the owner of a company and you're not a manager of company, then it's fine. You are not declared in any way here in Serbia. Your manager needs to be declared in some way. But if you're the owner and the manager here in Serbia, then you must pay certain contributions here in Serbia, if you're the owner and the manager. So there are some contributions, but then again there are some differences. Or let's say, if you are employed in your country of origin, then you must send us proof of this employment, and then it will lower this
contribution.
Yes, exactly. Contributions paid in Serbia, and even more if a country of if your country has signed a bilateral agreement with Serbia on social contributions, you are even going to pay lower, or you're not going to pay at all any contributions.
It always depends on where your tax resident is.
Exactly.
Right.
Where is your tax residency? So if you are, for example, resident and citizen of Germany, you're not going to pay probably nothing here in Serbia. But if, for example, owner is some company, and you are the manager of this company. You again must have certain contract. We call it contract of on rights and obligations of manager, and then based on this contract, we pay certain amount of money.
Perfect. One other question, I guess it is very important for many clients, is the VAT. So VAT, as you say, that is not the lowest. Okay, it's better than like a Czech Republic or Poland, 23% or Hungary, 27%. But 20% is not low, especially if the company is not doing any local business but more international business through the Serbia, let's say to the Balkan region or different regions. And there is a certain VAT is collected, right, as a balance. So in Germany, it's very easy to ask it, and then the technical system works very fast. So in Serbia, how it works? Is it easy? I know it is so many detailed way, but is it easy to claim back the VAT, or how it works?
So if you're in the head, let's say if you are with a knowledgeable guy, both legal and financial, it should be easy. Basically, you claim VAT once a month. When you're a new company, you're always a month. You have a monthly VAT reports that you're submitting. You're claiming it once a month, and you're supposed to receive your money after 45 days. So this is something that can be, let's say, this is a deadline that usually cannot can be, let's say, prolonged for the newly established company until first check is done. After first check, it should be, let's say, within those deadlines. And in first check, this is what they are looking for. They are looking for if you're a manager without paying any contribution, if you're not paying wire, you're not paying.
Is everything okay or not?
Is everything okay? Do you have, let's say, name of company on your door, and so on and so forth. So there are a lot of small issues that you can meet if you don't know.
Technically, if you ask money back from the state, of course, every state first check whether their tax obligation has been fulfilled or not.
They can, yes, sure. But at the end, you're going to receive your money.
How long it takes to get the VAT back?
45 days after report is sent. Yes.
Okay.
So this is basically the most important for the companies that are doing import, because they are paying lots of duties and VAT from import. And this is very important for them to balance, because they are going to pay now and they're going to claim or to receive money in 2 months.
Yeah, it's a kind of financial burden for them, for sure.
It is financial burden, and it is it might be a problem in cash flow.
So my last question, not to make it very boring for them, but these are actually amazing summary. Thanks so much, Lubiša. Last question of mine: that what is the audit? I mean, after how much threshold they are obliged to have a public, independent auditor?
So in Serbia, there is a number of criteria that you must meet if your company is obliged to make auditing. So this is a number, capital, number of employees, and income. And most often we end with an income, because if there is more than 4.4 million euros of income in 1 year, then next year you're going to be you will have to provide the auditing report. Yes, exactly.
4.4 million within a year.
Within 1 year, exactly.
Within 1 year for turnover, not a profit.
For turnover, exactly. Yes, income.
Income. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. So I guess it is very, very clear and very, of course, Serbian taxation system is a bit complicated, as I see, but it's getting better and better. Yeah. Yes. But what I see that in our experience, it's very, very important to have the local help and then experience a counter with the foreigners, which is a very big change between the locals and the foreigners. And Lubiša is one of the, I guess, best accountant I have ever met, especially in Serbia. Yeah, and there's like a very detailed way. So I don't know, would you like to add something, Lubiša, to them? Should they start a company in Serbia or not? If they work with you, yes. If they don't work with you, then they may have trouble.
No. No, they can come in Serbia anyway, because Serbia is quite hospitable as
good
well as good food and a lot of other things. But I believe that the clients which are working which are looking to optimize their tax records, and might also use Serbia, you know, to do a lot of business with globally, should probably look to work to Serbia. There are some obstacles, sure, but I believe that as years go by, the government is doing everything it can to assist basically for foreign businesses here in Serbia. So I believe that now is the time to open business in Serbia, and next year will be even more attractive. Yes. So I believe that Serbia is good for your money if you are looking for something in, let's say, Eastern Europe.
Yes.
It will be quite good value for money. I believe so.
So it's a developing market. Profit rates are not so bad here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As we already said.
Yes. So, Luigi, thank you so much for all the details. It was a great pleasure to having you also, and also have all the details. And thank you so much, everybody, to watching. And then please don't hesitate to like and follow us. Also, if you have any question, please send us an email, which we are going to share, and you can see on the down. And then, we will be ready to help you to start the company, but then with Google Consultancy, with the accounting side, we will be ready to help you to hold the accounting procedure. And then, but it's very important to have the like a reliable tax advisor, which is quite important in Serbia to sustainable business in the long term. And then, it's greetings from Belgrade. And I hope that from here should read from Cevapcici or something. Something like this or Rekia. But it's not Friday yet, it's a Monday. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a great week, I would say.
Thank you. Welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Let's see. I hope it is recorded.